Abusia Micha na misanso emu akwaba sonko so emfa we mre channel so hada so ye be media GH abusia dia lawyer Martin Pebu aba bonti din sembi edeba betudwa lawyer Martin Pebu private legal practitioner but sembi da betudwa o cheni nsemu a half year report ya OSP ede ebaye no extradition process no o kira ebeye den papa na abusia Nensemo odi etudwa ne script na busama project eda screen nche no kira extradition process can be very complicated. We are hoping that the American government will cooperate with us because we really need him to come down and account to Ghanaians. Abusian lawyer Martin Pebu ocheni semua omo esrese American president SSC ni otiso Donald Trump no mo beye adwenanka process bi anka so omo efa so no mo nsa etumi eka former finance minister Ken O.Arthur because omo jitum se abra no mo aban no kata hye ene proye bi ekoso a ansa na papa no ebe resign no and ansa na MPP be free aban mu no che akoso dada nti anka American president eno mo enya adwen anka Ken O.Arthur entumi be pie mu ewo omega na busua osanso de sansem we de to dwa say dia extradition no mu be den papa because Ken O.Arthur businessman no osanso invest more ewo America osanso abiebie dwuma ewo America nti be den say government na say government American government be release Ken O.Arthur de amamu because ono enya mfaso ewo Ken O.Arthur ho abusia we de ma mekasa wa ma mekasa yetete pese yeko kokoti ensem no mu akasa enkyere mu emfamfiri Martin Pebu na se wi na se wadwunche bia ba mode na ache adwo hada so be media GH se ene de connect channel so e be so beje me no ahwe video CB ya ba mode an subscribe like no agba sha for pension bi etie no nya bi etie yonko ne koti ensem a ba betodwa mo kira Ken O.Arthur so abedru omega na modi abusia e be ye den papa ya dansi.
So far, what we don't know is the status of the extradition. And I must be able to indicate that this is not going to be a walk in the park. This extradition process will take quite a while.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, we all know that issues of extradition are complex, extremely complex. And, you know, I like this referencing one that we did some years ago. I did with Professor Tifa. Long story short, you know that based on the bad prison conditions we have in Ghana, etc., that particular one, the British didn't extradite the accused to come back to Ghana. They refused because the report was clear. We went to the prisons when we wrote a report. Look, the overcrowdedness, all the conditions, they were terrible. They are subhuman, you see. So based on it, and other things, the case went to the court. They looked at everything and then decided that no, we are not bringing this what do you call it, suspect back. Okay, so let's hope that they, you know, and there are other complex matters. Look, let's be very plain. O.Arthur is invested in America. I know that America always looks at its interest. He's a businessman there. That's another thing we'll be grappling with, right? Yeah, someone who is invested there, they need investment. Sometimes maybe we don't see. The capital around the world, they also compete with us. America is debt-ridden, right? Their debt is almost consuming them. They have Japanese debt, Saudi Arabian debt, Chinese, etc. They are neck in debt, right? So meaning that they also take foreign capital. So the fact that O.Arthur has invested in America is another thing we would be, struggling with, apart from prison conditions, etc. So, well, let's see how it goes. But extradition, it's a very complex matter, extremely complex. But we just pray that the Americans would do us good because, look, we are suffering. We are really suffering. We need O.Arthur to come back so that he will face all these charges. Because if the Americans don't extradite him, you know, it's going to create a lot of problems, for both countries going forward. Because as I've said, we would then be looking that, is it because he's invested in your country? We'll put that much ahead of prison conditions. So we just pray that the American government will do the needful. You see, because now we have a huge number of citizens who can, you know, read in between the lines. You see, yes, so we can begin to suspect that, okay, if he doesn't come, then America is looking at its own interests, etc. So on the balance, it would just be better that this one, we try and bring him and not look at prison conditions, etc. Because it would go for long. Citizens will keep complaining because you know that Ofori-Atta's case is one that touches Akufo-Addo, because all those things he did is because Akufo-Addo was giving him succor. He was involved in a lot of those things because anything he made in office was going back to their own family. Okay, he and Akufo-Addo, president of Ghana, etc. So this particular extradition is a test case. Okay, of the this to test the relationship between Ghana and America. They really have to do well to bring him down to face justice. Otherwise, it won't look good. Day in, day out, we extradite people to America. We do it for them willy-nilly. Every year, you see even Dada Boat, etc. You know, many people, even this year alone, we've done more than 3, right? Yes, I don't remember the last time they brought down. Yeah, and even during COVID, I had a client. Yeah, she was extradited straight. We did everything we could during COVID 2020. Oh, the client was taken. Oh, I've remembered another client over 10 years ago. So we keep extraditing people to America. And so this one, please, we'll beg the U.S. government, don't look at the investment Ofori-Atta is made in America. No, that's our money. We are entitled to say so until he comes down and proves that that's not the money he made from office. Because look, it's open. If you check Ministry of Finance website, I don't know whether this new government has taken it down, but it's public knowledge. Ofori-Atta said, when we borrow the bonds, Data Bank was making a cut. And Ofori-Atta is a huge shareholder of Data Bank. So that is our money. It's our money. It's not defamation, it's our money. He went before Parliament, you know, the censure vote. When he appeared before the parliamentary committee, right, they asked him, how much have you made? Then he mentioned at that time it was over 150 or 140 million Ghana. That's small. Then he said he will check the final figure and come out, right? So that's a lot of money. A lot. Lots of our citizens can't find food to eat. No 3 square meals a day. The cost of living is still very high. Hard.
I just wanted to provide you with some information on that, because the finance minister during the budget reading did indicate that they were going to review the book runners for our bonds.
Yes.
And that was quite clear that we're going to do a review and
it was Akufo-Addo who defined corruption. He said, look, nepotism is corruption. So he said family and friends government is corruption. So when Akufo-Addo put Ofori-Atta there, and then every time we borrowed from the bonds, Ofori-Atta's company made money. Straight, classical corruption.
Okay, so this is what...
We don't need a court order. We don't need a court to tell us. It's Akufo-Addo who said, look, if you put your relation in government and the relation is making money off government, it's corruption. It's his own definition.
But this is what Samir Dakon, who is a private legal practitioner as well, and he heads the communications for and operations for the Special Prosecutor's Office. He put this on social media in response to a question about the status of the extradition process. He said, at this stage, the decision rests with the United States authorities. Once their internal legal processes are completed, the OSP and the Attorney General will be invited to the U.S. to take custody of the individual, as is standard in such matters. For context, in a recent case involving the FBI, the United States made an extradition request to Ghana, and it took 1 year and 3 months for Ghana to conclude its legal processes before handing over the individual for trial in the United States. Therefore, delays should not automatically be seen as obstruction or refusal. Extradition is governed by law, no impulse. That's what. So even in the case of what you referenced with Ghana extraditing some persons to the U.S., he said it took 1 year and 3 months.
Oh, that's one specific example. There are different ones.
Some even take shorter.
Yeah, and others still take longer.
It depends on the nature of the case.
Exactly. And then the accused person in the United States has opportunity to fight the case even there, to defend himself at this extradition. But when you look at the sequence of events, you will be left in no doubt that Ken O.Arthur has not done himself good, has not done the country good, and has not done MPP any good. on the 2nd of January 2025, 4 days before Nana Akufo-Addo handed over power to the NDC, he wrote to the chief of staff from Opare for permission to travel to treat himself. You understand? Was it in anticipation? Did he have any inclination that this thing was going to happen? That he was being subject to investigations at the Special Prosecutor's Office? Was he running away? Then when you just oppose that with Victor Solomon, you remember him?
Yes. Victor Solomon.
Yes.
He traveled outside the country. He was a deputy minister of finance. He traveled outside the country to treat himself. He had a PESA. When he was wanted in Ghana, he arrived. He came back to Ghana. He was arrested at the airport on the tarmac. He died in prison. So you see clearly that what is Ken O.Arthur running away from? I mean, if you know that you have not committed an offense, come back with your head held high to defend yourself. But everything, for me sitting here, everything points to some grand collusion.
Grand collusion between who and who?
Between the government through Frimo Pari and Ken O.Arthur.
The past government.
The past government. Giving him permission to travel. You had lost power. You were just government advisor or what? External.
But the person wasn't feeling well. It was on that basis that he was going
but
for
I'm saying
medical
that
care.
Victor Solomon had a PESA.
Please explain what a PESA is.
His heart could not work naturally, so they had implanted devices in his heart. And NDC had lost under Rollins. He was outside treating himself. He was said to have embezzled that time. He said he had not embezzled any money. He flew down from wherever he was. He was arrested on the tarmac, Kotoka International Airport. He died in jail. So you can't use what you are led to be suffering as. And doctors have said that the sickness of Ken O.Arthur cannot prevent him from traveling to Ghana.
Well, but then if you hear the OSP itself say that, well, right now, whatever the process is rests with the U.S. authorities as we speak. The point at which we are now with this entire process.
I agree with you. I mean, that's why many fugitives are walking about the earth without being extradited.
Mr. Counsel,
yes, Counsel.
I said that, look, for me, it still beggars believe that we sat down and allowed the O.Arthur to go without everybody knew that once MPP lost every time look, we come and discuss this and I say, hey, you see why Ghana is where we are. At the moment MPP lost this election,
his own 98 or 88 was it 88 members of parliament passed a vote of no confidence in him. Everybody knew that he had challenges.
This particular thing there,
and then gives him a letter to travel.
Let one person talk.
Everybody knew that he had problems.
I want to listen to one person.
Okay. Okay. Honorable was on the floor.
Everybody knew that. I'm just buttressing that point. Everybody, including MPP people, knew that he had problems.
So he was going to be what, a subject of investigation?
Sure. And who says that at that time OSP had not even started preliminary investigations?
No, it's okay. I hope I can
go.
And NDC foot soldiers started saying it. Some even attempted to go to the airport. They said lockdown, close the airport. Remember, there was a lot of talk. You see, sometimes lay people tell us a lot of wisdom, but we think, oh, we are book long, we know better. But theirs is more sense. The people were baying for the blood of O.Arthur and others. They kept saying, close the airport. I know, yes, we cannot literally close the airport. Their meaning was that put in place stringent measures so that these guys don't escape. And you knew that O.Arthur was going to #1 because he was in charge of.
Sound like you made it, message Obejo like, so subscribe to a POG political media as well. Any day, any book as well. Obejo subscription now for it me a share, no for first so answer so. It's me a canon who the echo and the air bar a woman Ghana political speech. Now, in some matches. And also if we am running for you at the batch say yes sorry no bit me so I issue and also bit me a henda yes US aban ebe hande eye Ken O.Arthur ede ama o my Ghana na che se ono so etime gina embra no enam eye ska bia eye amfo susu se eno so etime fan nsase a na se corruption bia amfo susu se eno so etime call so e won office ebe den se US aban be jan se nam se ono so hieska na the investment na ono so eye no ebeboa US aban nti wontimi hwe se o mfa ne mbre o my Ghana na che se ono so enrane atelos meze beto so na it issues no me that's
the public purse, so to speak. And you know, I had sat down here. There was no Saturday I would come here and not mention that Akufo-Addo and O.Arthur are corrupt. They've taken our money. These bonds matter. That they are taking our money every Saturday. Sir, then we sat down.
So let's conclude on this. I'll give Dr. Zato a
So it is a conclusion that Ken O.Arthur voted out of the country. Is it the conclusion?
Yes.
No,
because that is what Martin
it cannot be.
Lawyer. You know, there's a former and then there's a positive.
No, but how did he leave? He left with the permission, right?
Of who?
Of the chief of staff.
That
or
permission.
the notification.
That notification. Do you know that a graphic has a publication that is not just Fremo Opare alone? They said it also to current chief of staff. The notification is double. Yes. There's a publication on graphic. Yes. You can pull it. That's why I said, but even before those notifications, the law enforcement agencies, all of them. If I were there, the day they lost the elections, that's when I would call them in. Post-bail conditions, this.
Let Bobby make his point. Yes.
Is it, Alfred, the consensus that I'm getting from my two seniors is that Ken voted out of the country with that. I mean, because he knew he had committed some.
Absolutely.
No. I think that is too conclusive, and we are not in the position to do that. And more particularly because the OSP is still investigating.
You have not stolen your running away from the market.
No. But why would you?
Please.
I think the OSP is still investigating. And the OSP has not said that he is guilty. And I think we must get this right. The OSP said, I need you to help me or assist me in investigating these matters that have been leveled against you. I don't think we should conclude that he decided to run away from the country and not to return by reason of the fact that he sought permission to go and address or handle some medical emergencies. I think we need to give him an opportunity because we cannot be drawing hasty conclusions, particularly when investigations are not even concluded, because his input will be much more important in the ongoing investigation. So, Alfred, I would rather take a back, I would rather, view the whole discussion from the prism of the fact that he is still innocent, and as we all know, as per our training, Martin is aware that per our training, we are too. Because you remember even yesterday, one of our colleagues was assaulted at the Kanishi District Court. Particularly because they felt, why were you defending
a suspected murderer? Exactly.
So I think, Alfred, per our training, we don't need to draw hasty conclusions. We just need to accept people, view the fact, and more particularly, when we can only take decisions based on a set of facts placed before us. But when there are rumors, there are claims in the media, I'll just advise that let's be careful.
In fact, that's why I reference, and Dr. Zato bringing, that's why I reference what the OSP itself has said, at least an official there. The update on this process is that, according to Samidako, the decision rests with the United States authorities. Once their internal legal processes are completed, the OSP and the Attorney General will actually be invited to the United States to take custody of the said individual, as is standard in such matters. And that the delay, although does not serve the interest of the demand of the Ghanaian populace, that this matter must be prosecuted as quickly as possible. It says it's part of the process. It shouldn't be seen as obstruction or refusal. So what should be, and Dr. here bring you in, because of the update that the OSP gave, the specific instance that should play out, especially in the coming days on this case, as to updates on how far this extradition process has gone. As far as we know, there isn't much detail on that. Do we deserve that detail, at least, to know how far this matter has been prosecuted?
Thank you very much. Please, what's your name? Leo. Leo, I like the way you spoke, and I like the way you've making your presentation so far. It's boring, but that is how bureaucrats speak. That is how professionals speak. So I teach Introduction to Public Administration, and I tell them that bureaucrats are neutral, apolitical,